Captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
Yes, Lord have mercy. It's Wednesday, hump day, February 1st. Before we know it, people, this college basketball season will commence. It will be over. Halfway mark of conference schedule last night, and things are shaking up like a game of Yahtzee. Man, Super Tuesday did not disappoint. Last day of January also did not disappoint. But first, you are listening to Captain by Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dives, going live on this beautiful February 1st. I will get into some golf bets in a second. I have 3 outright winners. Recap last night's college hoops. Right when you want to believe in somebody, huh? They lose by 11 to Maryland. To Maryland. Get out of here. Super Bowl preview. First time. I think I know exactly what I'm going to do with this game. I'm going to bet the Philadelphia Chiefs money line. Get to that a little later as well. Some picks for tonight. It's a Wednesday night slate. I'm betting on some of my least favorite teams to bet on. However, let's ride. Also, National League in the Major League Baseball, the MLB, if you will. I will touch on every team in the National League's over, under as quickly as possible as I did on Monday for the American League. This show will eventually turn into nothing but baseball talk for a long, grueling 6 months of summer. I'll still touch on some big things that happen in other sports. However, y'all know how it is. The diamond of dirt and grass. Rule the summer. That's just how it goes, baby. When it gets hot and sweaty, get you a glove and get out there and have some fun. If you're a kid, get the heck off of the tablet. Talking to you and your son. Get him off of the tablet. Put a baseball glove in his hand. Teach him how to catch and throw. Moving on to the golf bets. Should have wrote down and go to my bet slip real quick. This book's kind of messed me up this morning. When you first go to it, it's just all like enhanced, double chance. You get like one of these 2 players to win. But it's like, why not bet on each of them individually? Get way better odds. So that's what I did. I eventually made my way over to the right page. I don't know, man. It's hard not to take a Jordan Spieth at plus 900. So I did. I took Jordan Spieth at plus 900. The AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I'm sure I'm not the only one to say this. One of the most beautiful viewing experiences watching golf you'll ever get. right off of the water, wind blowing, beautiful, gorgeous Los Angeles sunny skies. Give me Jordan Spieth plus 900 outright winner. Also have a guy at plus 2,000 who I cannot stop betting. It's like I'm just waiting on this guy to win one, and then I can finally break even. Tom Hoge at plus 2,000. I've been betting this dude for about 9 months now. Every time I see his name, no, I feel like I got to now. I'm only going like too deep into this. I gotta at least get one win out of this guy. Tom Hoge plus 2,000. Recently, I don't want to get into all that. Tom Hoge plus 2,000. This might be the last time I bet him. See what he brings to the table. He is the 5th favorite right now. And then I went with the guy who's 2, 4, 6. He's the 8th favorite. Although I like the guy that's the 10th favorite too, Thomas Dietrich. I got a good feeling in my gut about Thomas Dietrich. However, I didn't bet him. I have Jordan Spieth at plus 900, Tom Hoge at plus 2,000, and Justin Rose at plus 2,500. Those are the 3 golfers I will be riding this weekend. I didn't get into any of the specifics or the specials. I scrolled down for a while trying to find somebody I believe in. And not only is this the windiest and like one of the hardest tournaments to call, it's hard not to just go with proven names that are there, as in Spieth and Rose. I mean, if you want to have a good old time, you can take Kyle Stanley at 100,000 plus 100,000. You want $100,000. That's a long shot. Don't do that, people. Couple of top 5 bets. I mean, take Spieth at plus 225. That's the thing about top 5. I mean, they're a little easier to hit, but it's like I don't know. You gotta really go with a long shot to get something worth it in golf. I don't know. Like Justin Rose and Tom Hoge at around 500. It's just not really worth it to me. Not that it's not worth it. But I'm just gonna put it on a little something on it, all of them to win. Even this Jordan Spieth plus 110 at top 10. That might be enticing because it's, I don't want to say a guarantee, but I mean, you get plus even money for a kid to stay in the top 10 when he's the 2nd favorite to win it all. So sometimes it's like, how can you not? He's minus 137 for a top 20. You can take somebody like Tom Hoge plus 125 at top 20, or Justin Rose at plus 150 top 20. I guess that's why I might have to start looking into that more in golf. I used to take one golfer named Paul Casey. I don't know what happened to him. And I used to take him to win top 5, top 10, and top 20. And for about 18-month stretch of late 2020 to early 2021, he was getting in that top 5, and I was just cleaning house, hitting the top 20, top 10, and top 5 bets. He never pulled out a win for me. Breaking news. I hate to say this because I do not believe it. But if you are near your phone right now, you should have got the same updates that Tom Brady, yes, Thomas Brady, the 67-year-old assassin, announces on social media that he is coming back to play for the Canadian Football League. I'm kidding. He's retiring. Tom Brady is retiring. This one doesn't feel as good as last year's felt. Like last year, it felt like, wow. I'll always remember where I was when Tom Brady retired. This year it's kind of like, yeah, should have retired, bro. Last year came back and looked awful. I mean, in 10 years from now, your legacy will still be intact. But as of right now, just the visuals I have of you, your legacy is ruined, man. Again, that's right now. 10 years from now, I'm sure all I'll remember is all the great things you did, all the good times we had watching you as fans. I will say that 7-time Pro Bowl winner and holds every major NFL passing record. I will say this: Drew Brees held every record at the time of his retirement. So if this guy didn't play another 3 seasons, nah, man, shout out to Tom Brady. I felt like we all knew he was retiring, but we didn't believe it. You know, like he's got to come back after that performance. He's gonna go play with some team and just get one more ring. He just has to. It's the Thomas Brady way. However, captain by a hook with the red beard. Heard it here first. I'm sure because I am live. I'm sure in the next 30 minutes, that's all you'll hear on any show. But if you're listening live, you heard it here first. Tom Brady retiring from the NFL as the GOAT. Hard to argue that fact. He cut me off of some golf talk. However, I think y'all get it. Jordan Spieth, Justin Rose, and Tom Hoge. I'm going to touch on Super Tuesday for a quick second. I really just want to say, Indiana, you are what I thought you were. Trash! Indiana, pathetic performance against Maryland. I will say this, though. Tracy Jackson Davis, 18 points, 20 rebounds. You can't ask for much more from him. The problem is one of their guards shot more shots than anybody else on the team and literally made one shot. Finished with 3 points. Couldn't even get to the free throw line on all of those horrible shots he was shooting. I believe he went 1 for 14. Indiana, you got to put up more than 55, bro. I mean, that is just horrendous. That's exactly why I don't trust you. That's exactly why I'm ready to fade you come tournament time. Trash, man. Maryland's not the worst team, but they're definitely not the best. I mean, I'd have to look at statistics. But just off the top of my head, Maryland might be top 7 to 9 in the Big Ten. Sorry. You know I'm getting mad when I start cussing. Other game that kind of had me heated last night. Yeah, I had money on both of these, but that's not the point. I am not one of those guys that loses a bet and gets mad at somebody or a team. I made the bet, hold myself responsible. It's just, man, you play great for 6 weeks and then just throw a dud out there. That's a fan. It's like, wow. Kansas State. I was up in arms last night that I couldn't find this game in the 12 to 15 channels that I have that play college basketball on a nightly basis. I'm like, they're really not playing Kansas State. They're really not playing a matchup between a number 7 and a number 8. You telling me I gotta watch UConn and DePaul? You telling me I gotta watch Duke and Wake Forest? That was kind of disappointing. And then Kansas State didn't show up, and so who would want to watch that? It was a blowout the whole game. I mean, it was like 8 to 12 points the whole game, but it never felt good. It never felt like Kansas State was getting a rhythm. It just felt like Kansas, for the first time this season, was in control of a game, start to finish, without it being in jeopardy at some points. I cannot wait till tomorrow to break down some more teams for March Madness. Nothing else big really happened yesterday. San Diego State goes down to Nevada late. I'm sure 99% of y'all guys were sleeping. That game started at 11 p.m. Eastern. And it sucks because I was driving home from a grocery store last night. And this guy's on the radio. He's like, "Yeah, man, let's see what's coming. I'm definitely on this West Virginia, and I'm definitely on this San Diego State." And I said, "I don't like West Virginia, but I could ride San Diego State with you." And the way he broke down everything, San Diego State's getting hot, Nevada's falling apart. So I trusted the guy. Came home and just blindly bet San Diego State. Yeah, I forgot they only let fools on the radio. Um, let's jump into some baseball. Let me try and get this baseball out the way. This show is definitely too jam packed. I thought I could squeeze the baseball in today. I know I can't tomorrow. All right. Not all right. Let's get it. Ding. You're listening to Captain by Hook with the Red Beard. It's Roman Donaghy, aka Roman Dobbs. Let's go through this National League over unders for every single team. We're gonna start it off in the NL East. The Atlanta Braves over under 94.5. Man, I think this team and the Mets both get 100 wins again. However, it's hard to be that consistent in baseball. One bad year from one player, and you never know. Whether it's Fried, Strider, Harris, Grissom, Riley, Acuna, like any one of these guys could just have a average season instead of a fantastic season. And they could go under this total. 94.5 is just such a big number. However, I still like the over. Miami Marlins, 73.5 under. New York Mets, just talked about this. They're at 95.5. Projected to win this division by one game, it appears. Again, I'm not going to touch this because, it's juice to the under. But they have some inconsistent players. Literally every player on their roster had a career year last season. And they still lost to the Braves in the division. So for me to expect that to keep up and keep going, I don't know. It's hard enough to do it over 162. It's dang sure hard enough to do it over 324. That's quick math right there. So, I don't know. I'm going to stay away from both of those. Phillies, under 89.5, easily. They were a feel-good team last season. However, this roster is not sustainable. Bryce Harper will miss a lot of time in the early parts of the season. Give me this team to be more around 500. I'm definitely on the under. Nationals, 59.5. I'm going to stay away because this number is too low for me to believe in. I definitely think the Nationals can get 60 wins. That's 60 and 102 as a record. So I'm going to stay away from that one. I'm going to lean on this Phillies under, this Miami under, and stay away from Mets Braves. Although at some point I might touch the over on both of those. For like only one could be wrong. One of these teams is going to go over. Both of them probably get to 100. The NL Central, you have the Cubs at 78.5. I think that's the perfect number for them. I think they will be barely under 500. I still want to lean towards the under a little bit. Still a few kinks to crease out of that chain in the Chicago Cubs organization. However, going to be a fun team. Going to be a fun team to watch. Going to be a youthful Cubs team. Cincinnati Reds, 65.5. I would lean to the under on this one as well. I think this is one of the 2 or 3 teams that do end up with 102 losses and 60 wins. 65.5 feels a little big for me. They've gotten rid of every good player they've had in the last 5 years. Maybe some kids will step up and put together some runs, but I don't see them getting to 65 wins or anywhere close. 55 is more realistic for the Cincinnati Reds. And believe it or not, It's one of my favorite teams, the Reds. Milwaukee Brewers, 84 in the hook. I think they fall off this year a little bit. I think they end up around 80, 83. So close that I'm not going to touch it, but I am leaning under on the Brewers. Um, However, somebody's got to win this division. But I don't know. I think whoever wins this division is going to be a losing record. Now, this team, I forgot about the Cardinals down here. You got the Pittsburgh Pirates. Give me the over 65.5. One of my, and when I say favorite, sometimes I don't mean it. Like the Reds is literally one of my favorite teams, win or lose. Um, White Sox, Mets, Reds, Giants, Astros, and that's been since '05. That's like nothing new. Those same squads. Actually, MLB app, if you don't believe me, bro. They're my 5 favorite teams every year. Joking, but serious. Pittsburgh Pirates is one of my. I think they're gonna be one of the best teams this year. Not best team. I don't know how to say it, man. They're gonna be good. The Pirates are gonna be good. They're gonna put together some winning stretches. Give me the over 65 and a hook, and then the almighty St. Louis Cardinals. I think they take a small step back. Last season they had so much magic and mojo in the air with the farewell tour of Molina and Pujols, two Hall of Fame legends. This year might be the farewell tour for Wayno. I don't know if they can get the same amount of magic. 89.5 feels about right. I think they'll be above 500 for sure. I just don't know by how much. Gonna stay away from that one. This division, I'm taking Pirates over 65.5. Staying away from Brewers, taking the under 65.5 on the Reds, and gonna take the under on the Cubs as well. Moving over to the NL West. I think this is gonna be the most intriguing division in the National League this season. I think the first 2 or 3 months, all three, 4, or 5 of these teams, besides the Rockies, all 4 of these teams are going to be right there in the mix for first place. I think once June, July hit, one of the teams is going to start taking middle little gap between first and the rest. But I still think 2 through 4 will be within 2 or 3 games of each other the whole way down. It's going to be an interesting National League wild card race this season. The Arizona Diamondbacks, give me the over 75 and a hook. I think this team has a surprisingly winning record. I think they end up 83, 82, or 80, whatever it is, 83, 80. I think they end up one game over 500. 82, 81. Or is it 81, 81? 82, 80. I think they get to 80 wins, man. Over 75.5 on the Diamondbacks. The pitching staff is tremendous. They have so much youth that you guys still do not know about. I covered this team for BurnCitySports.com. So I have been waiting for a couple guys to come out of the minors and act a darn donkey. Still heartbroken that they traded Varsho. However, we needed a catcher, and now we have one of the best young catchers in the league. And we had plentiful outfielders. Varsho was the best last season of the young cats that came up between Garrett, Thomas, Varsho, and McCarthy. However, I think he already hit his ceiling. I think all these other kids are still on the climb up, and there's a few more coming. Give me the over 75.5 for the Diamondbacks. The Rockies, 67.5. It feels low, but that Coors Field, I don't want to say advantage, but this is one of the best home teams in the league. I'm going to stay away just for that fact alone. I mean, you play 80 home games, so they can go 50 and 30 at home. They do it a lot more than people think, and which means they only have to go 20 and 60 on the road to go over this number. Going to stay away from the Rockies. The Dodgers at 97.5. I might have to do a little more research on the Dodgers. From the casual fan research that I've done the last 2 or 3 months, this team is not the Dodgers that we're going to be used to. I think this team has a down year. I think they kind of fall apart on the mound. I don't know what pitchers are going to step up this season. And they got rid of a bunch of hitters. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think they lost Trey Turner, Justin Turner, I mean, all I can think of is Mookie. I don't even think Bellinger is producing at the rate they need him to. I mean, you got Will Smith behind the plate. I'm gonna have to look this team up, man. Let me reserve the right, but I'm leaning hard on the under 97.5. That is a crazy total for the Dodgers, um, in my head. But I'm about to look it up right now. I don't care if I'm live. Projected lineup. I could be 100% wrong, people. I forgot about Freeman. So you got Betts, Freeman, Smith, Muncy. I didn't realize they picked up JD Martinez, Gavin Lux, and Tracy Thompson, two dogs. And then Chris Taylor, the always consistent Chris Taylor. And I don't know who this James Outman is. Probably an amazing young buck. Kershaw, Urias, Gosselin, Syndergaard, and Dustin May. Let me I still don't think they get over 97. I think they get to 95 though. So I'm gonna stay away. Just seems crazy that they have the highest total I've seen so far. Padres 92.5. Gonna go under because why? It's the Padres. Underachieving is what they do. I just don't ever see how this lineup gets rolling. You got a bunch of similar guys. I don't know. The Giants at 78.5. Honestly, gonna stay away from that one. Giants, they've fallen apart the last few years. They can get it together this season, or they could fall even more apart. So 78.5, it's a low number. If it was in the 80s, I'd take the under. So yeah, West, stay away from Giants. Under Padres, stay away from Dodgers. Stay away from Rockies, over and Diamondbacks. That's a first look, rough look at the Major League Baseball National League over under. If you want the American League, go to Monday, January 30th show. I broke down the American League. You're listening to Captain by Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dives. As promised, a quick Super Bowl preview. There's 4 bets that I'm looking at, and I haven't even looked at props yet. I'll just say that. 4 bets that I'm looking at. 4 bets that I'm hearing from sharps in the radio world that I do trust and listen to. Shout out to You Better You Bet with Nick and Ken. Listen to those guys a lot when it comes to football. I don't know. The over-under at 49.5 it's growing. It was 48 the other day. But here's the 3 bets I do like as quickly as possible. Again, next Wednesday, I will really break down this game. It'll probably be 20 minutes next Wednesday on the Super Bowl. And then this Friday and next Friday, I have my man Jaden Chandler Parnell. And we're going to break down some Super Bowl talk. This Friday, we might talk a little college hoops. Nobody cares about the Pro Bowl. But next Friday, for sure, we'll come back and probably each have 10 to 15 props and bets and everything on this game that we like next Friday as more of these markets open up. I definitely want to take some wild bets. It is the Super Bowl. One of my favorite things to do on the Super Bowl is pick the exact winning score. I already have that number in my head. I haven't seen that market open up yet. I'm trying to find it right now. But as soon as it does, I will get a number on there. Here, oh, that's winning margin. Exact winning margin. I don't want that. I want the exact score. A few years ago, I had 31-10, and then the Bucks won 31-9. Anyway, for this Super Bowl, I lost track of the numbers. I'm sorry. Super Bowl 55. I don't know what Super Bowl this is, y'all. Definitely not a football guy, but I do have high success rate betting football because, I mean, not to talk trash to any of you guys who claim to be football bettors, pretty much the easiest sport you can bet. Easy. Unless you get caught up in all the narratives in media bull BS, it's the easiest sport to just look at and bet, especially at the NFL level. College, a little tougher, but just take the over. I'm kidding, people. I'm kidding. I do hours of research on this stuff as well. I'm sorry, I'm going long. Still got some college hoops to get to for tonight. Here's the three bets that I like. I said I had four, but I don't like the over. Just looking at it, and I don't like the under. So I'm gonna take that total. I was gonna give the over out just for funsies because it is a Super Bowl, which I probably still will bet the over because it's the Super Bowl and the total that the number I have, the exact number is in the 60s. So I might take this over 49.5. But let me take the Eagles. First quarter. I had it pulled up a second ago. Eagles first quarter minus 1.5 on the spread, plus 130. I think the Eagles get out to the hot start like they always do. Shout out to my man Ken Barkley for really breaking this down the other day. And the Chiefs' historic level of slow starts in the Super Bowl. And by historic, I mean the last 4 or 5 years. Give me the Eagles first quarter minus 1.5 plus 130. I think they're up at least 10-7 or 10-3 by the end of the first quarter. And then spread on the first half again, plus money, minus 1.5 for the Eagles. First half spread plus 104. Give me both of those. And now this is where I flip it on you. I think the Eagles go into the half up by 7-10. I'll say that. And then on the game, give me the Chiefs money line. It's plus 102 right now. I wish I would have grabbed it at plus 130, 140 where it was this week. But yeah, that's the three bets that I'm going to do for the Super Bowl. I know it's crazy, but I think that's how this game plays out. Again, I have an exact total number I will give out probably next Friday. 10 days, I'll make y'all wait for it. But yeah, that's how I see this game playing out. That's sounds the best to me. Eagles first quarter, Eagles first half, and Chiefs money line for the game. It's hard for me to bet against Mahomes full game. I just something about this season. He has, I don't know. He just has that, like the Rams last year. Like you don't like Stafford. You think everybody on their team is a pompous B, but they have that. They have something going. So that's the Super Bowl breakdown. I think it's going to be a very close game. I actually think it's going to be a 1-point game. I got it 34-33. Just gave away the exact number. Chiefs winning. So as soon as that comes out, I'm taking that 34-33 Chiefs exact total. You're listening to Captain by Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, a.k.a. Rowan Dies. Jumping into college basketball for this Wednesday night slate. Whew, this week's been rubbing me through the ringer, dragging me through the mud. I'm going to go with my least favorite team to bet on. Always my least favorite team to bet on. I do not believe in Rick Barnes at all. Do not believe in the Tennessee Volunteers at all. However, this season seems different. After years of fading them. But I did the same thing yesterday. I've been fading the Indiana for years. And I don't even want to bring that up again. But tonight I am taking Tennessee minus 5.5. I'm doing this backwards. I'll give out my bets first and then talk about games later. I mean, who cares, right? At this point. All you want is the bets. You don't care what I think about the games. Tennessee, it's minus 6 now over Florida. I got minus 5.5 about 30 minutes ago before I started the show. So that's the number I'm going to give out. Tennessee minus 5.5 taking on Florida. Now, this one, it's a doozy. Give me Southern Illinois taking on Bradley on the road. Southern Illinois, you can take them plus 6. I, however, like a fool, am on the money line plus 215. If you want to be a smart bettor, take the +6. Southern Illinois is. This is a bet simply based off of the fact that Southern Illinois is in the field of the bracket, and Bradley is nowhere to be seen. So I'm going with Southern Illinois +6. I'm gonna take the money line. I think this would be a big win for them to solidify their bracket tournament appearance. Southern Illinois money line +215. However, don't tell me I didn't tell you to take the +6. Seton Hall money line taking on Villanova. Psych. Seton Hall taking on St. John's. Villanova's taking on Marquette. Give me Seton Hall on the road on the money line. It looks like it's getting bet. I got it at -104. It's -110. So numbers are moving on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Give me Seton Hall on the money line. All right, my 3 bets for tonight. Franklin Earl has another one in a minute, but I did this backwards, so I'm going to break down some games real quick. 3 bets that I have placed. Tennessee -5.5. Southern Illinois +6. I'm on the money line. Seton Hall money line. Right now you can get it dead even -110 on the road taking on St. John's. All right. Before I get to Franklin Earl, a few games I wanted to touch on and talk about. There's a lot of big games, a lot of little games. LSU, Missouri. LSU's done. I mean, they lost 7 in a row. They done. Just throw the towel in. I was excited about their 12-2 start or whatever it was, but I'm done with them. Florida State +9 on the road versus North Carolina State. As much as I love North Carolina State, I think this 9 is too much. And then you have Villanova +7 against Marquette. I actually like the Nova +7, even though Marquette's going to win by 30. I just know it. But something about that +7 feels way too big. Marquette, it's Big East basketball, baby. Villanova's kind of getting in a groove. I don't want to say they're fully in a groove yet. They've been trying to find it since Jay Wright left. Georgia +12 taking on Auburn. Believe it or not, I love Georgia +12. It's just they don't have like a guy to believe in or a offense to believe in. Somehow they just win games. Don't know how they're doing it. All season I've been waiting for them to hit a mean losing streak like LSU is on. But they keep winning and they keep games close. I like Georgia +12 taking on Auburn tonight. Not going to bet it though. Purdue -10 taking on Penn State. As dominant as Purdue has been, definitely think that 10 is too much. I would like Purdue at -5 or -6. Even that feels a little too big. Penn State's a feisty group. They just blew out Michigan, who Hunter Dickinson is a shoelace compared to Zach Edey. However, they just dominated Michigan. Penn State did. So I look for them to come in hot. You got Minnesota and Rutgers. I have no idea why this game is 14.5. Just that's all I'm gonna say. There's no idea. It should be 4 at the most. Providence and Xavier, number 16 and 17 in the country. 2 of my favorite teams to watch this season. Providence and Xavier. Xavier's -3.5. I went back and forth on this game so much. I finally just said I'm staying away. It's like lay the 3.5. No, take the 3.5. No, lay the 3.5. I felt like either bet I made, I would have been mad if it lost. More mad than I would have been happy if it won because I just can't call it like an alcoholic. Creighton, Georgetown, 13-point favorites. Give me Creighton to win this game at 90-60. But I don't know. I'm not going to take it. I don't know. I need to get back to just betting. I'm trying to wait till I get out of this slow stretch before I start betting 6 to 7 games again. 2-4 so far on the week. Ended last week 8-1. So if you count the push, I am plus. Now this changes everything. Providence just moved to +4. I like the +4. That's the thing. I don't know, man. I might end up with Providence +4, but as of now, I'm going to stay away. I don't think there's any other games worth talking about. Georgia Tech, Louisville is like the championship of losers. Oh, you got UNC on a 5 or 6 game winning streak taking on the Pittsburgh, who kind of embarrassed them. Probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 Fridays ago. Man, the season feels so long, but it's so short. I think that was 3 weeks ago. North Carolina lost to Pittsburgh on a Friday morning. Could have been 4 weeks ago, but who cares? At the end of the day, St. Bonnie's and Richmond gonna be a good game, worth nothing. Uh, yeah. So I just need somebody, anybody, hit me with the horn. Franklin, the beard, win a ton. With the best bet of the day, Franklin Earl Beard Winnington, people. I came through yesterday and stopped the slump that my man Rowan Dives is over here having. Gave you guys UConn DePaul over 145 and guaranteed it. Also said it would be over by the 3 minute mark. It was over with 3 minutes and 58 seconds to go. Tonight, we're going to the team that always covers 100% of the time, Stephen F. Austin, and the F stands for covers. Give me Stephen F. Austin -3. I stayed away from this team the last 2 weeks, but I am back on the Lumberjacks bandwagon. Give me Stephen F. Austin -3. I guess I could tell y'all who they're playing if you'd like. Just I can go to my bet slip. Even quicker. They're taking on New Mexico State. Who I know. Just the name scares you a bit, Mike. Give me Stephen F. Austin on the road -3 to get things done. New Mexico State is having a awful year by their standards. I think they're doubled their losses to their wins. Give me SFA, man. Because the F stands for covers. You're listening to Captain by a Hook, Rowan Donaghy, a.k.a. Rowan Dives. Just to touch on my 4 bets again real quick. Tennessee -5.5. Southern Illinois +6. I'm on the money line. SFA -3 as Franklin Earl's best bet of the day. And then Seton Hall, money line, taking on St. John's in that Big East matchup. Thank you guys for listening. Tomorrow, I'll have my next NCAA March Madness breakdown. It will be, just pulled out a knife. That's pretty weird, huh? Pretty crazy, mate. You don't want to fuck with me, mate. I'm kidding. I'm going to go over the Mount West and the Ivy League. So San Diego State, New Mexico, Boise State, Utah State, and Princeton will all get broken down tomorrow, as I did yesterday with the Zags, St. Mary's, Memphis, and Houston. By March 2nd, you will have everything you need to know about every team in the bracket, and I guarantee you that. Keep listening to Captain by a Hook. Like and subscribe. Shit, tell your mommy if you want to. She might like it. Dives.